Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which means it's time for Boob Tube, but it's not Boob Tube unless I have my beautiful co host with me, Casey Carter and Desiree Bottom. Hello, ladies.
Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hi.
What up?
Hey, girl. Hey.
Okay.
How's your week
Yeah.
been?
so, um, so my birthday's on Sunday. So I have
Whoop
literally
whoop.
been trying to like fast track my way through my work week, kind of bang out some things so that I can enjoy my birthday, going to Vegas. So excited.
Oh, what you guys got planned in Vegas
Um, well,
besides watching
I,
our show?
I know, right? I can tell you what I'm aware of because apparently there's some
Oh,
stuff I'm not allowed to know just yet. But we're gonna
Ooh.
go see a Cirque du Soleil show at New York, New York. We're going out to dinner Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and shopping. Apparently, there's other stuff I'm not allowed to know about.
okay. We like surprises.
Yeah, so that's what I know. My biggest
Most.
plan is to sit at the pool and
Ooh.
roast like a rotisserie chicken.
Sounds good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
You know, when you're turning over
huh.
the rotisserie. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. That's my plan.
Well, happy birthday. You know, we got to do a special birthday
Happy
thing for
early
you. Go ahead.
birthday. Heck yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I was so busy trying to prepare my little visual surprise for you all. I did not do a birthday thing for myself. So we'll do it next week.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do it next
You,
week since it is
Carrie,
smack dab in the
ladies,
middle.
you'll see why I spent the time on my other visual as opposed to my birthday. So you'll see. You'll love it. Guarantee. You'll love it.
Of course. I have no doubt.
Can't
No
wait.
doubt whatsoever. Can't wait. What about your week, Desiree?
It's been a roller coaster
Hello?
ride, but up and downs, but it's good. No complaints.
Right, same. It's
We're
just been a week.
alive. We're here, right?
We're here.
So, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
That's at
That's
least
what
what
they
they
say.
say. That's what they say.
That's
I don't
what they
know.
say.
Sometimes I want to call uncle. I don't know.
Sometimes I'm like, ah. Okay.
I'm like, really?
It's all good though.
Really, really? Really, 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 really?
Hmm.
Really?
How was your
Yeah.
week, Carrie?
Not too bad. I will say the last couple of days I've been very low energy
Mm.
and I'm not really sure why. There's a bunch of different, with the full moon, it's this, it's that. I am just exhausted. So,
Okay.
June's almost over though. It's like, well, not really. We're almost in the middle, right? But
Yes, we're almost in the
yeah.
middle
halfway done.
because my
Halfway
birthday's in
done,
the
How
I
middle.
is it
guess.
almost over? We haven't even got to the middle yet.
I was gonna say my
Stop
birthday's
trying
in
to
the
Halfway
middle.
done, I
rush.
guess.
Stop trying to rush, Desiree. Okay. Shit's going fast, but you don't have to make it go faster. Hey, Jade.
It
Hey, Mimi
is.
Melon. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
my week
Whoop,
you.
hasn't been
whoop.
too bad. It's just been very busy and I am struggling to
What?
keep productive. I
Oh,
just want to
I
crawl
I
into
understand
bed,
that.
nap. And then my nap's not like 30 minutes, an hour. It's like hours, like full on sleep. And when I get up, I'm groggy and I don't feel like doing shit. So it's a very bad habit. Very bad.
And
Yeah.
it's funny that you say that. That whole idea of getting the sleep and then feeling feeling groggy when you get up. That's that's not good sleep.
But if you don't go to sleep, you're even worse
I
because
know.
you're
I know. I know. Listen,
sluggish.
And you're like a zomboid.
yes. And believe
Yeah.
it or not, just between us friends, just us friends, I have my annual physical scheduled for like next week, and I made a list of the things I wanted to talk to my doctor about, and like that very thing is on my list of having trouble with sleep, falling. I don't necessarily have as much trouble falling asleep as I do staying asleep, as getting good quality sleep. I don't know if stress at work is making sleep hard, is not getting sleep making work hard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Right.
I need to stop ignoring it and just have a conversation with my doctor about it, because I'm it makes you feel, like you said too, sluggish, and as Desiree said, a zomboid. Like I do. I have Today was the perfect example of going to work and staring at the computer screen, saying I can't even halfway see. The screen looks blurry to me. So, yeah.
Same. I took my text on my computer and blew it up because yesterday I was struggling so hard just to read the screen and look at the screen. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I told
Well,
myself, don't
I
be a
hope you guys are
don't
having a good week.
be a punk. Yeah.
In lieu of our struggles,
In
we
lieu
hope
of-
that you guys are having a good week.
Yes. And
Yeah,
if you're not,
because
don't-
we're all on the struggle bus.
I was gonna say, because if you're not doing good, you need to call somebody. Because I
Meet
have
me.
to finally tell myself, stop being silly. Tell the doctor. Tell the
Meet me.
doctor how you're really feeling. Tell him.
Dr. Dre,
True.
Dr. Rev,
Dr. Phil,
Dr. Seuss,
Dr. Pim,
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Just kidding.
Oh God.
Just kidding.
Oh God.
Oh my God. No, she didn't.
No.
Just
Listen,
a quick.
Wait. As a matter of fact, I'm on my list of things that I want to mention to you all is something that I turned on, and I think they were running the introduction for the show, and I was like, no, I can't watch this, and I'm dying to tell you what that is, because I was like, I don't think I'll make it. I don't think I'll make it.
What is it?
So, if you're familiar with the plastic surgery show Botched, with the two little doctors, I am obsessed with that show. I love that show. I love watching the stories unfold and watching the doctors consult with the patient, treat the patient, and then how the patient feels after that. Like, I absolutely love that whole thing. So Max has a show called Botched Bariatrics, and I thought, ooh, I'm watching it. I was probably 2 or 3 minutes into the start of the show and said, oh no, I can't. I've seen some really horrific things on Botched, the other show. In the first 3 minutes of this show, I saw way more things that I just couldn't. People who get bariatric surgery are considered morbidly morbidly obese, and so there is a lot of them physically. Can you imagine having this procedure, bariatric surgery, having the surgery go wrong, and then having your flesh be
It's like the leftover. Yeah. It's heartbreaking.
It was.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Like I said, I must have been 3 minutes in when I was like, I can't. Between how these people's body was mutilated, and then them having to deal with the emotions of having to get this surgery to save their life, and having the surgery now make their life worse. I was like, oh no, I am not emotionally equipped to see this. So, but for those of you who are stronger than I am, it is called Botched Bariatrics, and it is on Max. Be ready. Be ready.
Well, maybe it's something I'll gather up the guts to do.
Don't do it, Kari.
When I go looking for stuff to watch on Max, because we have a show that's coming out on Sunday, House of Dragons. which airs on Max. So I'm going to subscribe because I stopped subscribing after House of Dragons went off. And they just didn't play enough. Like, it just felt like there wasn't enough variety for me. So I canceled it, and so I'm gonna
On Max,
resubscribe.
right?
But yeah, Max.
Yeah.
Because I had
Okay.
so many subscriptions. Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, Peacock,
Prime.
Paramount, Discovery. Like, I had so many of those, and like for me, when I would get on Max, like unless I was watching something specific, it just didn't seem like there was much else that drew interest. And I was just like, I'm not paying $12.99.
Well, let me say this. Um, I agree. When it was HBO Max, I did feel it was living off of series. If they did not have a good series on, there was nothing to watch. When the app changed to just Max, they brought in a whole lot of other programming that's not all say theirs. Some of it is like documentaries, news produced documentaries. So
Mm-hmm.
I watch a lot of that on Max. I don't think I watch very many series, but I watch a lot of their documentaries. And one of them was Fallen Idol, Nick and Aaron Carter. I haven't finished that, but oh my goodness, it was quite salacious.
Quite salacious.
Quite salacious. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
that's what I watch on Max are the documentary. Mhm.
Well, then maybe that's some stuff that I can indulge during House of Dragons stint. I think that's really what I do is like if there's a show that I watch, then I'll go and I'll binge on
Some other,
everything else
yeah.
in the meantime. But yeah, speaking of things that we've been watching, I think we should just go ahead and get in.
Let's
I'm
get to
dying
it.
to see what you did. So let's start talking about Ghost Book 2, part 1,
Yeah.
episode 1. I don't understand this whole part shit. Me and Casey were talking about this before we came on. And I was like, I'm under the understanding that it's a part 1 in June and a part 2 in September. But it turns out part 1, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Why they're doing it this way is kind of silly to me, but whatever.
Mm.
I'll start by saying I was not impressed.
Mm.
I really wished I don't know. I felt like for it to have such a strong, exciting ending, I just when I watched this episode, I just wasn't feeling that same. I mean, except for the scene when Brayden goes to get his sister
Mm.
from
Mhm.
Drew, and then Tariq comes flying in from this unknown vehicle, which at first I was gonna say I thought it was Ghost. Because okay, so true story, didn't even know what the date was. So my partner sends me a screenshot and it says that Ghost is alive and it shows him with a gunshot wound in his chest. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Ghost is on. Let me go watch it. Ghost is back. I watch it and I'm like, no. And it even has a timestamp on it. So it says 18 minutes and 50 seconds. So I go back to 18 minutes and 50 seconds. And 18 minutes and 50 seconds is a scene where Kane and Effie are at Brayden's house, beating up the brother. And the dad basically is like, and so I'm like, where's Ghost? Why didn't you bring him back? Hello? Like, it just very was confusing to me. But like I said, throughout the episode, first of all, I never really cared for the what's her name? Noma
Noma.
character.
Yeah.
I never I think they should have made her more ruthless. I feel like they introduced her and she was like super ruthless at the very beginning, and then through time like she just I don't know. I just didn't feel like she maintained
Like
her
dissolved a bit.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean,
Like
Her character presence wasn't there.
well, in the one of the opening scenes where she's talking to her people and she was talking about how what's his face was supposed to take care of this, and I'm like, girl, if he's dead, let it go, bitch. Like, why are we still talking about him?
Right.
Why are we still talking about him? I mean, the way the story runs, he was working for you anyway,
Mecca.
and you were getting some, but he's gone. This was always you, so why do we keep bringing him up?
Right. Then, I mean, I will say I did like the scene when Monet was on the operating table and they were like telling her, "You ain't shit." He was like, "You're gonna die, bitch." I did like how they were going in on her. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
They were rootless.
Only because she's so
Mhm.
she's so cocky sometimes
Yep.
and gets so like invest like so you made some points.
Yeah.
Yes, you held it down while homie was in jail.
Mhm.
Yes, you did have the son, but you never told him, and then you gave him up for adoption. So like I understand like both sides of the coin on that. You know what I mean? Like I understand she did what she had to do. Meanwhile, he's upset because he didn't get a chance to be a part of his son's life, and the kid got left for, was put up for, well, adopted by the aunt, but nonetheless, like his life could have been very different, yada yada yada. So, and I felt like that was such a pivotal moment of that episode, which I did find entertainment in because Monet never really gets checked. So for
No,
the fact
people
that she's like,
they
I
they
don't want to die.
start to try to check her, but it never fully manifests. So yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's just the fact that she has to like face her own choices. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, yeah. So, but
I found it was
and
like messed up that her kids like wanted to like kill her, like actually like finish her off. And I
Yeah,
was like,
that was
what?
interesting.
The son was just like, telling the chick the sister to like put a
Diana.
pillow over her head, yeah,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
stuff. And I was like, what?
I think what's interesting about that is if there was anybody who was going to off her, I always thought it was a possibility that it would be Kane, because she just made him feel so worthless, and all he ever
Mm-hmm.
tried to do was impress her and earn her respect, and she always made it
Yeah.
seem like, he was stupid, he could fuck it up, whatever. But at the same time, when she needed a henchman, she would go to him to be the henchman. So it's kind of like, if anybody was going to snap out the door, it would have been him. But to see Drew was still pissed that she made him kill his lover. I don't think he's going to ever
and
get
their
over that.
dad.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think he's
so
never going to get over that.
he's never gonna get over it. I think it's gonna end up Kane's gonna end up killing him. I feel like that's gonna be
You think Kane is going to
the
kill Drew?
dynamic of their situation. Is like Kane is like, yeah, she does shit. Well, let's just say this: Monet does some fucked up shit, and in all of her choices, she's always made the best choice for herself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has like, even when Diana went to school, like somehow, some way, Monet was able to like get involved in the whole, like, they're just like, Monet always makes things about her. So when they said that to her in that whole scene, it was like, okay, yeah, you do make choices for yourself, and you do put your kids in danger because you sent Kane to do your dirty work, you sent Drew to do your dirty work, you sent Diana to do your dirty work. So
The only one who
this is
did not send out to do dirty work was what's his face? The son that she never
Zeke.
told anybody about.
Zeke.
Zeke,
Yes.
right. And yet he's the one that gets killed.
Ironically, though, he was the one that,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't send him out to do anything because he was supposed to be the one that got them out of their situation.
Mm-hmm.
So she looked at him as like the savior. And then, of course, also, I feel like the dynamic in that situation is that that guilt she felt from not being there for his life, most of his life,
Right.
she was going to spend all that time repaying him. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like she
Right.
just, yeah, Monet's cut herself out into a heap of a situation. And
Yeah.
when she finds out that Tasha came for her and they're going to be button heads,
Mm.
Tasha don't play.
Gonna be interesting. And see, now here's the difference between Tasha and Monet. Tasha will cut a bitch for them kids.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Tasha will cut herself.
That's
She
how
went to
serious she is about
jail.
them kids. That's how
She went
serious
to
she is.
jail for
Yeah.
Tariq.
Yeah.
She went
Yep.
because we all know she was in jail protecting Tyreek.
Yep.
So
Yep. And
not
she
to
was
say
really
that Monet is the worst mom, but she's definitely like if you're gonna compare what people are willing to do for their kids,
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tasha's gonna go there.
Yeah.
She's gonna do whatever she got, whatever she has to do.
Yep. Sure is. Sure is.
So
what about Tariq calling the lawyer, like the ex-lawyer or whatever, who got
David,
and then
METHOD man. METHOD man.
and then he was like having his little menage or whatever, and then he was like, "I'm not looking out for you," and then all of a sudden the thing with Noma came out, and then he came back to them and was like, you guys both have a 100K bounty on your head, like watch yourselves and stuff. So I mean, at least he did have their back in the end. Like I was kind of glad to see that. And then the detective, like, what was it? Angela's nephew? Was it him? Yeah. I was surprised for that too. And then Tariq was like, so that was a little bit ruthless. Like,
there's no love lost for Angela. No love lost for Angela from Tariq. So,
well,
so it had to be done, I guess.
I feel like the dynamic that they're building up with that is that, the sister, I can't remember her name, but she is now on a vengeance trip. You killed my sister, now you killed my son.
Now my son. Yeah. And did you see who she gave a hug to in the church? It was that other guy. Didn't he? Isn't that guy look familiar? It was like a guy from
He's a new character that is a cop who is I feel like he's gonna be on a mission. Somehow he's gonna be tied into this. I don't know how, but eventually I'm sure they'll expose it. But he's gonna be on a mission once again because they gotta have somebody that's coming for Tariq.
Always.
True.
And Sax is gone. Sax died last season. So who, and what her name? Rodriguez, the cop, she's basically, exhausted all of her efforts. Because remember when the kid came to her and he was like, yeah, I've got this hard drive that Sax sent me. And she's like, you got to let it go. They don't want to hear about it no more. Leave that kid alone. It's not if you want to have a career, which obviously if you want to have a life, should have heeded the warning. But so they need somebody that's going to be coming after Tariq because that's probably how they're going to end the season or the show. Is Noma's coming after him? It looked like from the previews, Davis is going to turn on him. Effie's already turned on him. The only person he has is Brayden.
Yeah. And then his parents disowned him. Yeah, apparently. So.
Well, the dad, the mom.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
She wasn't present, but the dad was like, "You're done. You're out of here, bro."
Right.
That scene pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't. It was one of those things where I felt like the very, very beginning of the show was very choppy in terms of the action, the sequence, the storytelling. It was just like all over the place, really, really choppy. And that scene definitely had me going, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't understand.
Yeah. I think it was put in there to create an emotion.
But for the wrong people.
Tied to the I
can't feel sorry for them.
I don't either. But, anyway, so I guess it wasn't all that bad. I just didn't.
It doesn't compare to some of the other episodes from the past. That's what I would say.
True.
So maybe we're just off to a slow start,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
I'm ready for this visual, Casey. Can
Okay.
we please?
Okay, so one of my coworkers, her birthday was last Saturday, and we all went out on Friday to this spot that my daughter works at part time. And my I don't like to use the word stepdaughter or whatever, but my daughter's sister came into town, and she took a picture with this person, and I want you to tell me if you can identify the person. The picture is a little dark because we were in a club, but I'm hoping it's bright enough that you can see. Does that person look familiar?
He does.
Okay. Any guesses?
I don't recognize him, to be honest.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
That's cool. So let me give you another picture to see if you can guess who it is.
Nope. Still like drawing blanks.
So it's the guy from P Valley,
Lil Murda. Mm-hmm.
Little
Oh,
Murda.
wow.
Lil Murda.
Who
Go
But
ahead. Go
but
ahead.
believe it or not, that is not
Getting-
the picture. That's not the picture. I snagged the picture from her because we were at this event on Friday,
Okay.
and he was at the event, and she just happened to see him. This is what I really want to show you.
Ah, what?
Is that Kane?
Casey,
Oh,
that looks
it's
so
Kane.
dope. Yes.
Was he cool?
That is so dope.
He was lovely. He was lovely. Yeah.
Aww.
Yep. So I was
Well
like,
done.
oh my God. I'm like, the girls, like, this timing could not have been perfect. So they ran like the first 15 minutes at the spot, and he took pictures with whoever wanted to take a picture with him, and
That's
he was
beautiful.
lovely. And then so that to that point, there were a bunch of people there. So dude from P Valley, there was a stripper from P Valley. There were other people from the show. It was good. It was good. It was good. And my people acted ignorant, but not over him, just in general. Everybody can't handle their liquor. I'm gonna just say that.
Mimi.
That.
I put you on blast, Mimi. Can't handle your liquor, Mimi.
But yeah, so
That is
I was
so
like, I was
dope.
tickled to be able to
Yeah.
catch that moment and be able to share it with you all, because I'm like, oh my God,
Yay! Yes,
that's
ghost.
perfect for the release and the show and the everything. And
Heck yeah.
understand this, I'm like, I can't even post it because I want it to be a surprise. I gotta wait all these days.
Right.
So now you can, no?
Yeah, now I can post
Now
it.
you can post it.
By the time
Yeah,
I post it, it'll be a week later. Oh, and then so that was Friday. On Saturday, one of the girls that was with us Friday night, she was in downtown Atlanta, and she was saying that she was parking parking by this hotel, and Effie came out of the hotel.
Nice.
So they must have all been.
I
around.
wonder
Out
if
and
her and
about?
Kane are really dating.
Ooh.
Ooh. I do. Yeah. But according to
I
my
don't know.
girls, there were a bunch of stars in the spot, and I'm like, I would not have, aside from Woody, I'm like, I would not have pointed it. I wouldn't have seen any of them. A, it was
Woody?
dark in the club, but B, I'm like, some of these people, like the guy Little Murda, he doesn't necessarily look like he looks when you're watching him on the show. But she spotted him.
Better than me.
Yeah.
Only time I knew who, well, no, I'm lying. In fact, okay, so I was at the Atlanta airport, and Rick Ross was there with his team, and I like walked past him, but I didn't like recognize him, like, because I don't look for people. Like, I'm from Southern California, so celebrities is like whatever. But I'm at Popeyes and I'm getting my food, and the girl at the register goes, "That's Rick Ross." So I walked over there, and he was an asshole. Now he has this guy that travels with him, one of his road guys. He loves fat girls, so he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And then when we started talking, he was like, "I swear I know you from somewhere." And I was like, "No, you don't. No, you don't. Please don't say it's what I think." And I never said anything. He ended up finding me on Twitter a couple of days afterwards and was like, "That was you. You didn't say nothing." And I was like, "I'm not trying to announce in public who the fuck I am. Like, you either know or you don't know." And he was like, "Oh, you were so nice." Da, 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 da. I was like, "Unfortunately, Rick Ross wasn't. He was a jerk." And he was like, "Yeah, he's not, he's not always." And I'm like, "Well, that's it for me." And he was like, "That's it. What do you mean?" And I'm just like, when somebody's nasty to you, like, because he was nasty, like he was embarrassing, like loud,
Oh my gosh.
nasty. Yeah.
That's
And I'm like, I get it. I understand you're a celebrity. You're just chilling at the airport. Maybe
Status.
you don't want to be
Yeah.
addressed, but
you don't have to be
it is
rude.
what it is.
You don't have to be
You
rude.
don't have to be rude.
Right.
That's
You
like
could-
me. I've been recognized at Walmart, and I'm like, shh. Not
Yeah.
right now. I'm not. I'm just
Right.
a housewife at Walmart buying toilet paper and bleach. Typical household
like
shit,
anybody else. Yep.
like
Shoot.
anybody
Yeah.
else.
And I
That's
remember
right.
one time being online at the UPS store, and I was mad, and my face probably said I was mad. And I got to the counter, and the girl was like, "Yeah, I was at your party." I was like, "Oh, now I got to straighten my face out." Okay, hold on.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
I gotta straighten my
Hi.
face. Okay.
You go from this, you're like,
yeah, I mean, but again,
"Oh, you know who I am? Hold on."
my point is, you don't have to be rude. You just don't.
Right. Especially when that's like someone's first encounter. But anyways, yeah, that was my Rick Ross moment that I was just like, ugh. Anyways. I met Ice Cube. He was dope. Ice Cube is extremely intelligent, hella fucking cool, and fine as fuck to boot. So, anyways, let's talk about some other stuff that we watched. I saw this show called Dancing with the Devil.
Yes.
The 7M, or one, is it called the 7M? 7M.
But Netflix, right? Yeah. The TikTok thing, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. That
The dancers.
Yes. Yes. Basically cult, right? Cult. I wasn't really sure what to expect when I turned it on. But I felt really bad for these kids.
So, to give you like how I found it was I was on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
And I saw the TikTok where the sister and the parents were like pleading for Miranda to, open up communication and yada yada yada. So I was like, the fuck is this shit? And they said cult. So, I love watching things about cult. I love watching things about true crime. I love watching things about like cartels and stuff like that. Just this like, high and anxiety or like high energy stuff, right? So I'm like, what are they talking about? So I started doing a little research, and then I saw that there was a documentary. And so I was like, well, let me watch the video first. And they're talking about Miranda marrying B Dash, and she's a dancer, and they had a YouTube and TikTok together, her and the sister.
Right.
And that's how they gained their notoriety. And that they went to California to pursue their ultimate dance dreams. And that's how she was introduced to Robert. I can't think again, or Chan or something, where
Mm.
he's the organizer of this church.
Yeah.
And when they became a part of the church, the one sister said she didn't want to be involved because they very much, from day one, from the very beginning, she said it seemed like they wanted too much control.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, nah, I'm good. But the other sister, who was in a relationship with B Dash, and they wanted, essentially what it is it's one of those cults where they promise you fame and fortune and popularity, and like you're gonna have all these things, but in order to do so, you basically have to become
Sell
a
your soul.
Scientologist.
Yeah. Sell your soul.
Mm.
So
Just not for Scientology.
the church basically started a business, a company, to manage and promote these dancers. And they ultimately, for lack of a better word, scammed these kids, because you had to
Mm.
pay a management fee, you had to pay this fee, you had to pay your tithes to the church, your tithes to the pastor, your tithes to the pastor's wife. At the end of the day, these kids were probably seeing maybe 40%, maybe
Less.
30, than,
Yeah.
of the money that they were
Wow.
bringing in. And then they were living in a house that the church
Pastor.
pastor owned, right? So they
And had
didn't
to pay rent.
they didn't
Mm.
really see anything wrong, because they were huge. They had all kinds of endorsement deals. Their numbers were like ginormous on TikTok, social media. They had tens of millions of followers, all of this stuff. They were staying in this really nice house. There was nothing to really make them suspicious, except one of the girls. I'm trying to think if it was the new group or the old group, but there was a girl who noticed that. Well, let me go back. Kari mentioned the sister. The church. You could only go to the church if you were invited. So here's
Right.
the thing about the church. Most churches are open to the public. Like, member,
Right.
not a member, your religion, not your religion. The doors of the church are open, so you can go. This church, you were only allowed to go if you were invited. And the sister, Miranda, had been invited, but the other sister had not. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they decided to invite her at the last minute. And she was like, no, I'm taking my friend to the airport. And so she was like, that was it. Y'all are too creepy for me. But they talked about this other group before that, because I believe they're Korean, right? Like South Korean. So
Mm-hmm.
before they had attached themselves to this young set of dancers, they were basically manipulating these young Korean girls. And one of them talked about how they had her name on a bank account, and money was going in and money was going out, but the money going out was not to this girl. So they basically were funneling money through her name. And
Ooh.
it just, and this one left, and I think her sister got basically pimped out and became the pastor's sex slave. I mean, the things that they talked about that were being done to these children, they're young adults, but really children, it's absolutely horrific. And this man has yet to be um, charged with anything, really found guilty,
Brought to justice.
and right, has yet to be found guilty of
Mm.
anything. I mean, like, they talked about when you're in a cult and the family tries to have contact with the person in the cult leader typically then starts to abuse that member. So they tried
Okay.
to warn the family of that, and sure enough, he started picking at Miranda, or one of them. But then he said, "You know what? If I can't beat him, let's join him." So where they had initially been told you cannot interact with your family, you can't talk to them, you can't see them, you can't communicate on any level. Now he's like, okay, now you can go see them. Now you can talk to them, because he figured that's the only way to keep them from harassing us. Well, when Miranda gets with her family, they're basically trying to deprogram her and to get her out. And she's threatening them. She's like, if you want to see me, you can't talk about the church. You can't talk about the pastor. You can't talk about. And so even though they're heartbroken and they want her out, they're like, okay, we won't talk about it. So it is crazy how manipulative this guy, his whole operation is crazy how manipulative he is, and yet they cannot pin him down. Like his sister used to be a high-ranking official in the church, and then something went down, and I don't remember what it was, but something went down, and the sister left. And when the sister left, all these other people left with the sister, and still they're still out there manipulating people. So I don't know. It's very scary. It's very scary because it shows how easily you can be manipulated, and how easily you can now with social media and all of that, how that need for fame and celebrity and the stuff that comes with it is so enticing that you can't see you are literally selling your soul. Like it is. I felt really bad for those kids. I really did.
Well, I think it also ties in to the Diddy situation, because a lot of the people that are caught up in that situation, it's the same, same thing. Like they were striving for fame, they were striving for fortune, they wanted these things, but whether there's an Illuminati or not is still a question, right? But I feel like whether there's an Illuminati physically or not, I feel like the Illuminati is real in the capacity of when you sell your soul to the devil, it doesn't necessarily mean that you signed with blood or that you went in the middle of a pentagram and, chanted or anything like that. But that when you sign a contract and get in bed or get into business with people who just want to bleed you dry, that's what they mean by signing your life over to the devil, or, signing up for the whole things that come with that. Like it comes with people who are going to use you, abuse you, because the best people that never talk or never seek legal action or don't even realize half the time that they're being taken advantage of, it's because they think that they have to do all these things because they want to achieve the ultimate fame, fortune, or whatever. And it's super sad because at the end of the day, if you go and you look at a lot of the people that are affiliated with the Diddy situation, these people had fame, they had fortune, and they're fucking miserable because they're traumatized.
Yeah.
So the question remains, is it fucking worth it?
Well, and you know what fascinates me is we watch these stories. Like I watched another Diddy program just recently, that one that just came out, and it told a little bit more detailed story about the Cassie situation. And what blows my mind is we watch these programs over and over and over again, whether it's Diddy, whether it's Epstein, whether it's a Hollywood producer, whether it's a Hollywood actor, and yet people still get caught up. Like these things are world news, international news, and people still find themselves getting caught up,
drawn in.
Yeah. That I think is what really baffles me, is we're still getting suckered. Willingly, honestly.
True.
I mean, I have a whole fucked up comment, but we're just gonna leave it alone because I'm trying to lose
all right.
the channel.
Well, that's an out of off the air.
Okay.
Thing. But
I'll talk about what I've
Look, she's like,
seen this week.
yeah, go ahead,
go ahead,
Desiree.
Des. Change it up before
So,
Kari actually says it.
well, I'll like piggyback off of what you said, but it was the J Lo show Atlas. I seen it and I liked it, to be honest, because I like space and like sci-fi themed shows. So I
Was
thought
it
it
in
was really
Vietnamese?
intriguing. And you know, it really got me though. At the end, it made me cry. No lie, because the robot died. Like the robot she was in,
Desiree?
she was like, I did.
Desiree, you
It's
fucking
been out long
spoiled.
enough.
You
No, it's been out long enough. It's okay. If you ain't seen it now, that's on you. But it's been out long enough. She can say that.
Spoiler alert!
spoiler alert. Jesus.
She can say it.
So for J-Lo being like such a hard ass in the show though, it's true. And then she was like had trust issues and everything, right? And then at the end she was like, but I forget his name was Smith or something. She was like, but Smith, I like my coffee with 3 creamers and 3 sugars or whatever. And I like she like confessed everything. It was like verbal diarrhea and like confessed everything to him.
The robot's point was we can't merge if you don't open up to me. And that that was her struggle the whole so it wasn't until she was willing to like lower the barrier all the way down. But it was funny to your point that it was these silly things that she had to admit to.
Yeah. Like, do you like pie or cake?
Like, what does it matter? What does it matter if I like pie or cake? Yeah, that's right. It was interesting. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Well, it's cute. I don't know if I want to say it's cute. Here's what I'm going to say about it because I watched it and was like, okay, whatever. What I think I was disappointed about, not necessarily in the movie, because I'm like, these movies are now very repetitive. If you watch enough sci-fi, because I love sci-fi, you see the pieces of other storylines in the movies, and so it's fine, whatever, right? I think what bothered me though is when the movie came out, I heard so much about it's not going to do well or it's not going to get the promotion because excuse me, there was so much negative press about her in that moment. And you know me, my conspiracy theory behind the negative press about her in that moment was the Diddy Patrol trying to make sure that she stays quiet. That whatever she knows remains silent. That's what bothered me, because I'm like, wait, we just got through watching her joint on Prime. We watched the actual movie. We watched the making of the movie, like the behind the scenes. We watched all of that. Had very nice things to say. Maybe not some things to say, but we was all talking about it, you know, in a positive light. Now all of a sudden the Diddy thing breaks and we want to trash her. I'm like, okay, look, before that, the only thing that I probably heard that was suspect was she ain't really singing. That's probably the only thing I ever heard bad about her as an entertainer or as a person or whatever. But I'm like, now all of a sudden we want to make her out to be this horrible person? Really? Okay.
I don't think that it's we're making her out to be a horrible person. I think a lot of people are coming out about her mistreatment of the public.
Why not do it when she made that self-serving movie? Why not do it then?
They did, though. They were talking shit. I personally didn't listen. You know, I'm not easily swayed by the public. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to form my own opinion. You could love it. Everyone could love it. I could be the only person that doesn't like it, or vice versa. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. So that's why I went into the whole J-Lo thing. Like, I'm not a big J-Lo fan, but I went into watching it and I felt like you felt like it was different. And I actually watched it all the way from the beginning to the end, both of them, the documentary as well as the actual movie. And it's that I think what's coming out now, like the things that are coming out now, like the content itself was good. It's just that there's things coming out after the fact that just make you question who she is as a person. You know what I mean?
But that's the whole point. That is the whole point of
Right.
the comments. It is to
The
make
smear
you.
campaign.
It's to make
Yeah.
people. Yeah, to make people question her. I mean, again, we're not saying she's super talented. Lord knows, girlfriend cannot manage her love life, right? Like we've watched her,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is again why I feel like it is an attempt to keep her quiet. Period.
I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Rihanna said it best. People are going to talk about you whether you're doing good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
So let them talk.
Let them. Yeah.
That's right.
You know,
Let
Madonna
them talk.
famously said that even bad publicity is good publicity.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about you. They're
Mm-hmm.
talking about you. Good or bad, they're talking. I just think
Well.
this moment for J-Lo is keep your mouth shut, bitch. That's my opinion.
You heard it here first. Or maybe
Yep.
not, but you heard it here. Boob to cosign. But with that being said, we only have a few more minutes left. And
Let's
we
do
got some
it.
business to take care of. So
It's business time.
we'll let Casey queue up some business stuff. Just 2 weeks away, we've got Exotica Miami, June 28th through the 30th. We have Edison, New Jersey, October 25th and the 27th. And of course, in my backyard, December 6th through the 8th, Washington, D.C. Ladies Free Friday. Go to EXXXOTICAtv. Sign up for your free tickets on the Ladies Free Friday tab or order your VIP tickets on the website and your general admission tickets now. We would love to see you at one of these amazing shows, but that's
And
not all.
but just real quick, y'all need to know, Ladies Free Friday, that joint be bumping. Oh my God, it be thick up in there on Friday. So you should.
And
go.
the ladies go crazy. It's like they walk through that door. We should just do a Ladies Free Friday like recap.
Yep.
Because they open the doors and it's like the women come in there and go fucking crazy. They're
Yep.
like, "Oh my God, is this an adult Chuck E. Cheese? Cha-ching!"
Well, and that's what I was gonna say, Karen. When you did that, I was gonna be like, because they half the time I'm like, are you an attendee or are you an exhibitor? Because you look like we look.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You out here but you can tell because they're just super excited. So
Yeah. I have grown to love Ladies Free Friday just because some of these women, I'm like, see, it's not just us who are loving ourselves and we be out here in the street. So anyway, looking forward to seeing y'all on Friday.
yeah.
All right, up
So
next.
yeah, you've got what do we got next? September 13th to the 15th, 2024. It is the third annual 420 Expo in Edison, New Jersey. I had to think about it. In Edison, New Jersey. Make sure you follow us on social medias, the 420 Expos, and you can go to 420expo.com to get information about purchasing your tickets, your VIP tickets, having a smoke sesh with our special guests, or obtaining an exhibitor's kit so that you can find out what it would take to get your product or brand at the show. It is not an adult show, so if you are an adult entertainer, this is not the show for you. You can attend, you can go for the 420 fun, but this is not the place to be selling your smut or advertising it or anything of that sort. So let me just say that.
Say that up front.
Clarify.
But it's fun.
Preach.
So let me just tell you guys.
Fun.
I missed last year, but the year before that, Casey and I were there and we partook in edibles. We experienced the food truck, which was phenomenal.
The food truck, yo, that part right there.
Yo.
I wish we could food truck at all the Exoticas. I wish, because that was so amazing. Oh my God, that was
they
so
can't,
amazing.
because then these naked people would just walk outside and be like,
I know.
oh, you know.
I know. But oh my God, it was so amazing. Let me say this: if you've never been to a block party, that's what it reminded me of back in the day, where they would close off a block, a couple of blocks or whatever, and everybody was in the street, and there was food and music and all of that. That's what it reminded me of. It was just a good old block party.
Everybody was real. Like, I love the show. Everybody was really friendly and really nice, and it was just dope.
It was
Just
chill.
dope.
It was chill. And up next,
What else? Up next, we have pink boxes. We would really love if you would follow us on Twitter on these things. Yeah, right here. Those. You can follow me on social media, Platinum PZZY and the number 1. Only on Twitter though. You know, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere else. Then took me down.
What?
Look.
Yeah. No, I have pages. They're just not under Platinum Pussy 1. And for me, I'm just tired of promoting on places where in God knows when they're gonna take me down, and then I have to promote it again.
Rebuild again.
And you know what?
So just go to queenofbbw.com.
This is also why I am sporadically on social, because I think after they snatched my Instagram for absolutely no reason, and I worked really hard to get it to 11,000, 12,000 or whatever it was. I worked very hard to get it there. And when they took it for no reason and I had no ability to get it back short of paying somebody, I'm like, I'll be damned.
Hell no.
I'll be damned. No, you can have it.
Oh. Same. I got mine to like 50,000 and they took it down, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I remember I woke up and I was like, let me log in. Let me go check it out. It was like, what? Oh man, they took my account.
Yeah. Well, and so for me, I found out because people were texting me to say, where's your account? What happened to your account? And I'm like, what?
Well, with that being said, we would love to thank everybody for coming to the show today. If this is your first time watching, thank you so much for staying with us for this hour. If you are watching this on the replay, again, thank you. Or if you've been a return subscriber or a return watcher, again, we want to thank you. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and do all those things. If you're on Twitter, retweet, like, do all those things there too, or wherever you're watching. Give us some engagement. We love it. And if you have any comments, leave them down there. We do read them from time to time, and we would love to have a conversation about something that you'd like to share. Maybe there's a TV show or a movie that you'd like to recommend, or tell us not to watch because you think it's garbage. Whatever it is, let us know in the comments.
We
do. We do. With that being said, we will see you guys next week. Same time, same bat channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays for #BoobTube.
Heck yeah.
See you guys later. Back to you, Casey.
Bye.
Bye.